Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So one of the things I was looking at this weekend is some of the stats on option trading volume and stock volume and all these sort of new apps that have come out and the new brokers, to help with retail traders. I'm looking at a graphic here. I'll see if we can pull it up. Is the growth of the retail trader since the lockdown era has really blossomed. And for me personally, I cannot be more happier and excited. I love to see new, energetic, entrepreneurial traders come into our world and really take advantage of what this incredible opportunity of trading is all about. All right. But it does come with caveats. And one of the things I've noticed too, particularly in my training and teaching, is that some of the retail traders early on have this sort of abundance of confidence. All great, but sometimes it can get you in trouble. All right, so today I want to do just a quick video and really talk about that core developing retail trader that maybe just got involved in our business in the last 6 months, a year, or even maybe 2 years, and just really isn't at that point yet where they're continuously profitable. All right, understand that I am all for building confidence. In fact, it's one of the core focuses on my training that I do in the first 2 or 3 sessions, finding little nuggets that we need to improve on, but also building confidence. And a lot of that is about strategy or the inability to execute it. A lot of the emotions get involved, especially when trading real money. And, it gets in the way of trading performance. It hasn't happened to you. It's happened to me. Put your comments below and let me know, how you experienced it. More importantly, help the community and see how you overcame that. But what I want to focus on today is really what are the root causes of sort of this overconfidence or this ability to sort of say, okay, I'm going to do this. And, 3 days later, I'm going to go live on Monday and just crush it. So let's take a look and say, what exactly can we do to make sure we overcome those, particularly in that sensitive and tender developing stage? Okay, so the first one is, and really it's not the trader's fault at all, but this profession by default really leads itself to self-assessment. At work, we have a boss. And if you say, hey, get this report on my desk by Friday, for the most part, we're probably going to get it on Friday, even if we're just not really good at what we do. We just want to do it to get the guy off our back, right? So I understand that. But in our profession, it's really about self-assessment. You know who your boss is. It's usually yourself. So like I always say, the problem with this business is, you don't have a boss, or the boss is the one, looking at you in the mirror. And sometimes that assessment can be somewhat flawed. So what I'd like the new traders to do is to get an accountability partner or someone to just not do this alone. It can even be another trader that's in the same position as you, new and developing. All right. Sometimes when you have that super experience, and I'll even argue this on the coaching side, we have this like super experienced coach and you have the new trader. Sometimes that sort of disconnect. One of the challenges, and I always make sure I focus on, is understand and keep it real to what they're going through. All right. And because I've been there too. So I always put myself back into that place because, man, there's nobody struggled more than me, especially in the beginning. I was a stubborn bastard who just only wanted to see the strategy and never wanted to listen to his coach. But in most cases with developing traders, just join a group, join a community, get a fellow trader to work together. All right. It's free and really you'll get some joy out of it, particularly in this isolated business. All right. You'll help identify things that the person in the mirror normally can't do. All right. Next. And a lot of retail traders, myself as well, really felt they have the tools and the skill sets needed to be successful from the outset. They see the tools on their platforms, and TradingView has so many now, and you can join the community for free. And oh my God, look at all these indicators and stuff. It requires a skill set, and it allows time to learn. Also, trading brings out all the demons. We all know this, right? The emotional demons, particularly, or the ability to deal with loss and loss of money, which is a very sensitive emotional attachment, right? Risk management, discipline, all those things come into play. All right. And you can't just find them on, a screen of indicators. All right. So there's a learning process there too. And I was the same too. I would tell my coach, just give me the setup. I don't need to know the psychobabble, right? Just give me the setup and I'll be fine. And it was, of course, I was an epic fail for the first few years. So understand that just like any job or skill set, just like being a surgeon, overused analogy, I know, but there is a skill set you need to learn before you can actually apply these rules and tactics into your trading in order to get past that development curve and be successful. I get it. I want traders to be successful, every day if possible. But really, at the end of the day, this is a job. It's a job of execution. identifying opportunity, right? Executing a plan with compliance, and the strategy has an overall positive edge over a series of trades. That's really the definition. That's our ultimate job description as a trader, right? We do get excited sometimes, I understand, but really want to separate that excitement from the job. I've always said, ultimately, when I see traders turn the corner, I say, what's that light bulb that goes off? What do you see, Mike, in traders when they turn the corner? And I got to tell you, a lot of times they start to approach this game as sort of boring. The lights get turned off, and it's really just like, I got to make donuts today. I'm going to execute my plan. Like all of a sudden, I see the light bulb go off. I know it's sad. I know, young entrepreneurs, I want to see them excited and have vigor and wake up every day, like on a Monday morning like today, and say, oh, I can't wait for the markets to open. All right, that's cool. But really understand, somewhere between pre-market and at the open, this is a job, and our job is to execute a plan. All right, next, this is probably the toughest one on the list. I want newer traders and even experienced ones to discount the fight or flight mindset when it comes to successful trading. Trading requires this sort of rewiring and rethinking of what we do in our normal lives. We touch the hot stove, we immediately push back. Oh, it looks like it's going to rain. Bring an umbrella, right? My coach focused so much on this in my early days, and I totally ignored it, and I totally regret it. But he's right. It really takes a rewiring of thinking. When markets are crashing, we think, oh my God, run the other way. Why? Because our body and minds are designed for that fight or flight type mentality. But in trading, very quickly, the pros look at it as, where's the opportunity here? All right. Yes, there's a hot stove. All right. But you know what? Rewiring is, if I touch it, I'm actually maybe early in on a new trend, all right, or vice versa. So understand that we do have to sort of do rewiring, and a lot of the work in coaching, and if we have, like, say, hedge fund traders and stuff, they'll have psychologists come on board, or sometimes they have them on staff to help them specifically with this rewiring, right? Fight or flight is good when it's a rainy day, or lightning, or the store's about to close in 20 minutes and you need something, you got to rush over there. But when trading, sometimes that hot stove is opportunity. And again, these are all normal, and I've gone through all of these too. But that priority to focus on the setup. It's about the setup. The number one request we get is, can you give me your strategy? Absolutely. No problem. I'll give that to you. Right? But really, what I want the developing trader is to work on the other parts of trader success: the psychology, discipline, money management, risk management. All right. Understanding the big picture, understanding about market context, how markets work. All right. Having a strategy is great. And by the way, a key component, having a strategy that has a success rate over a long period of time. And that is not about win-loss. It is about profit factor. And it's tough. That's why it takes developing traders, some time to sort of build that muscle to get to that next step. Having a winning strategy, fantastic. But let's work on the other components at the same time, sort of balance your development time and training along the way. So when you have that winning strategy, you don't have all those other demons that you have to face after that. All right, so I hope you got some really valuable information today and practical information that you can apply in your trading starting on Monday. I'll put this little quote from Nelson Mandela that I love. I think about this pretty much every day. I refer to it, and it kind of motivates me to get started for the trading day. We talked a lot about compliance and the ability to execute a plan effectively. Click on the link below. We did a mastermind call specifically on how to master compliance and execution effectively. All right. Hopefully it'll add some value. Got a lot of good feedback from our members, and we'll pass it along to the YouTube community as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your comments, what you like, what you didn't, what you're doing differently. It's all cool. All right. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.